Switch screen. Switch screen.
Welcome back, folks. Remember a little while ago we got a moose, and Jeanette's been busy. She's been cooking up a storm of different meals and stuff, and you'll see that later on in the video. But again, you've been busy again today. Tell us what you did today.
Today I made moose sausages.
Okay, and that's what we're having for supper?
That's what we're having for supper.
Oh.
Anything that's left, then we'll put away for another meal.
There you go. So yeah, she did moose sausages today. You see in the video now, she made soup stock.
Hamburger
patties. I mean, yeah, we really use every part of the moose, and like I said, Jeanette's been busy cooking. So the rest of this video will show you show her making all these fantastic foods and stuff with moose, and at the end of it, we're going to do a little test at the cabin. So stay tuned. If you like this type of video, stay tuned for some great looking food, and enjoy.
Bye. So guys, I'm going to make moose burgers for supper tonight. So I have a pound of ground moose here that we put away a couple of weeks ago. But I'm also going to mix it with a pound of ground pork so that the burgers won't be too dry. We go into this mixture. I'm going to add 2 eggs for binding. And give my fingers a little wipe. I'm also going to add some breadcrumbs. I don't actually measure anything. I sort of guesstimate. So I'm going to add about that much in the way of breadcrumbs. We are also going to add some grated garlic, about that much. We're going to add some poppy rays for seasoning. And we're going to throw in some Worcestershire for some little bit of saltiness. Because I put the Worcestershire in there, I'm not going to add salt. If they're not salty enough, we can always add it to the patties afterwards. I'm going to get in there with my hands and give this whole thing a nice good mix so I have a homogeneous mixture. So if I make these about a 1/4 pound each, I should get about 8. I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to grab a handful. And make 8 nice size patties. And there you go, 8 very nicely made patties, about a 1/4 pound each. And I'm going to put those in the oven now and get them well cooked. Hi guys, I'm back in the kitchen today with another moose recipe. Today I am making moose sausages. So to start with, I have 2 pounds of ground moose and a pound of ground pork. To that, I'm adding some garlic, I've also got some brown sugar, just for a little bit of sweetness. And then I have got some sage, thyme, salt, pepper, paprika, and some poppy rays. The amounts will be down in the description if you're interested. So I'm just going to mix all of that in and give it a very thorough mix with my hands. Make sure everything is well combined. Switch screen. Switch screen. Is it still on the... Okay guys, so what I have here is a 5-pound sausage stuffer from Princess Auto. What I've already done is I've already loaded some sausage casings onto the nozzle, so they're well stuffed on there, and I've tied a knot in the beginning. So what I need to do now is I am going to put the meat, raise that up. As you remember, I had 3 pounds of meat, so I'm just going to take the meat and I'm going to put down into the sausage stuffer. And if you excuse me 1 minute, I'm going to go wash my hands before the next step. So what I'm going to do now is, the drum is full of the meat mixture I made. I'm going to load that into the sausage press. I've got a parchment lined baking sheet here to catch the sausages as they come out. I'm going to slowly lower the plunger. And I'm going to hold on to this. Haha, we've got air coming out. Maybe I need a slight little slit in that to let the air out. There we go. Because I can see the meat coming as well. There we go. And every 6 inches or so, I'm just going to give the casing a twist to make a new sausage. You want to hold on to the casing so that it doesn't come all the way off. And make a twist. And I don't, like I said, don't want the casing to come off too fast, so I'm holding it in place with one hand while I'm turning with the other. Oops, I just broke that casing. I guess I got to do it a little bit faster. So what I've decided to do is just let the casing fill up, and I'll do the twists in it afterwards. Okay, so I've just run out of casing. I'm going to need to load some more. I'll be right back when I get that done. So this is what the casings look like when we buy them. And so all you do is you feed the casings down over this nozzle, and I'm going to cut that off, put that away, and then as you saw, I just tied a little knot in the beginning and made a tiny little slit to let the, well, there shouldn't be any air in this one because the nozzle is already full. Just put that back. Move these guys out of the way. There shouldn't be very much left. What I did do was where the casing broke, I put that little bit of meat back into the stuffer. Here we go. Keep moving. So as you can see, I'm out of casing again, but I prefer to put little bits of casing on there than ruin a whole roll by contaminating it with the meat. So I'm just going to pull out another little bit, feed it on over. Cut it. Tie the end off. There we go. It's the end of that bit of casing. There really can't be much left now. All done. So that made way more sausage than I expected. It's just one little tiny guy right there. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back and every 6 inches or so give this a little twist. And make individual sausages. Now I am making this from meat that has already been frozen once. So I am going to cook all of these sausages and I will freeze them again cooked. I don't want to have put the meat back once it's been, you know, frozen and thawed. I prefer to cook them. So I have the oven prepped there now to 350. I'm going to put these on a broiling tray and I'm going to broil them. So there you go, guys. That's what I got out of 3 pounds of meat. As I said, I am going to cook all of these. What doesn't get eaten for supper tonight, I will put on a tray and freeze individually so that we can take them out, you know, for another meal at some point. As I was saying, because the meat was frozen and was thawed to do this, I don't want to refreeze the raw meat. The couple of funky looking ones in the front, with no casing. That's what came out of the nozzle and the bottom of the sausage press when I took it apart and cleaned it. I just kind of hand rolled them and made them look sort of sausage-like, and those will be my supper. So thanks for watching, and I'll come back and let you know how these taste and look after they're cooked. I've just taken these bones out of the freezer and I'm going to process them down into a bone stock. I've just rinsed them in the sink to rinse off any hairs or dirt that I could see on them. But as you can see, it's sort of frozen into a solid chunk. So I'm going to wrap what won't fit in the pan in aluminum foil until it thaws enough that I can get everything down into the pan. So I'll keep an eye on this, and as things start to thaw and I can get the bones down into the pan, I'll do so. It took less than half an hour covered in aluminum foil for everything to fall down into the pot. So now I'm going to cover it with the proper lid and let it boil away for a couple of hours. Hi guys, just let me turn off the fan so you can hear me. It's been about 3 hours now, and the majority of the bones, the meat, has just fallen off. The rest are still simmering away in there. I'm going to let them go for another little while. Meanwhile, I'm going to scrape the little bits that are left on these, and they'll be a treat for the puppy's afternoon meal. I didn't put any spices of any sort on this. That way it makes it free for me to give it to the dogs if I wish. See you back in a little while. What I'm doing here now, guys, is pulling up the last of the bones out of the stock and any large chunks of meat that fell off during the cooking process, and chopping it up into little bite-sized pieces, and then will put it all back into the stock and bottle it up. So I scraped off what I could off the bones and a little bit of stuff from the inside of the bone, which I'm now going to mix in with their regular food, just a little tiny bit in each bowl. And I think that I've got some people who know they're getting something special for their lunch. That was good stuff, Mom. So I put all the meat back into the pot and brought it back to a rapid boil. And I've also boiled my bottles. So now I'm going to start very carefully filling the bottles with this wonderful liquid. My lids are boiling as we speak, so I will put lids on these as soon as I get them all filled. Or I'll actually put the lids on these two and then I'll fill the next two. And do it that way so that the lids are on while the stuff is still boiling hot. I'll get back to you when I have all my bottles filled. So guys, it's been about 5 hours from turning on the stove to everything cleaned up and put away, except for these guys. I got 5 bottles out of that bag of bones. As I was saying, I didn't put any sort of spices in this mix. This is just water and moose bones. So that will allow me to open up a bottle and use it as a dog treat if I'm so inclined. If I decide I want to use it as a base to a soup stock, I'll just fry up onions and garlic and spices before I pour it in. So it was fun having you along. I hope you enjoyed this. And Darryl will be back for the next part.
Hi guys, welcome back. As you just watched, Jeanette did a whole bunch of cooking, processing the moose. She cooked up all the moose bones, made a bunch of soup stock, so that we enjoy that later on the winter for sure, and throughout the season. She made those burgers. We had those for supper later on that night. They were delicious. She's quite the cook, I gotta say, so we enjoy the moose for sure. Right now, we also did bottle moose, if you remember, in a few videos ago. And what I want to test right now is sometimes here at the cabin we lose power, okay? And when you come up here and the power's gone off, then you might want to get something to eat. So I'm going to use the Blue Eddy Elite 30 V2 unit along with this induction heater to show you how we can warm up a quick meal if we need to if the power is gone here. Now tonight, obviously the power is not gone. I'm just doing a simulation. My Blue Eddy here right now is at 100%, and to show you that from the screenshot. Fully charged. This induction heater can go up to 1800 watts. I'm not going to set it at 1800 watts. When you turn it on by default, it starts at 1000 watts. And I'm not going to use it at 1000 watts either. I can go down to at least lowest 300 watts. So when it comes on at 1000 watts, it'll take the battery down pretty quick, I would think. But I'm going to turn it down. The Blue Eddy is set up for powerlifting mode. Like I said, it is a 600 watt unit. We can do powerlifting up to 1200 watts. Okay. So right there we have bottle moose. We have a cast iron frying pan from our buddy Alan Baroff, and we're going to test the Blue Eddy, see how well it works. To, like I said, if the power's gone, warm up a quick meal. So turn on the AC, and on comes the unit. Turn on the unit and turn it on, and it comes to 1000 watts right away. And you see the Blue Eddy is pulling about 560 watts right now. But I'm going to reduce that down to 500 watts on the unit, and it's telling me at 500 watts it's drawing about going to be 0.4 of an hour. So I'm going to actually turn it down to 300 watts just to make sure the load is low enough on this unit that's not causing any problems. So we're still drawing 546 watts. And it's telling me I have 28. It's fluctuating a lot actually. Did not expect that. The power is actually fluctuating up and down. Let me try something else here. Let me switch to, I have power lifting mode on. So I would think that it would, oh, I know what it is. It's an induction heater. It cuts in and out. Okay, so let's put it up to 500 watts. And it'll cut in and out. And it's telling me I have 0.5 of an hour to warm this up. So let's just see if we can warm up this bit of bottle mousse with the Blue Eddy Elite 30 V2 unit. Bring it back, guys, when it's finished. So guys, it's been about 4 minutes at 500 watts, and if you hear the beeping, I can see the Blue Eddy is cutting in and out. Power output is jumping up to about 565 watts, 570, and then it cuts back to 0 again. So I assume it's the induction heater cutting in and cutting out. It doesn't draw a constant load from what I can gather. The pan is warming up. It is hot. Yep, that's hot. But yeah, you can see it's fluctuating here on the screen. I can probably show you close up on the app. So you can see on the app, it fluctuates 0 watts on the AC, 514, 580. So it's cutting in and out. So I assume, I have to look up on induction heaters how they work, but I assume it's the power that's cutting in and out that element, or that whatever's in the induction heater. So that's why the Blue Eddy is fluctuating up and down. Still telling me that at 560 I got about 0.4 of an hour. And it's definitely getting more because I can see it bubbling here. But yeah, one thing to note for that, for sure, something I did not expect. But again, the unit is running the appliance, and it gets you out of jam if you need to. So I'll bring you back when it's fully cooked. So folks, we're definitely bubbling now. We are at 77% on the Blue Eddy, and it continues to fluctuate between 580 and 0, so as the induction heater cuts in and out. You can see from the video here that the meal is bubbling, and as soon as the power is pulled on the unit, it starts bubbling rapidly. As soon as it goes off to 0, it stops bubbling. So yeah, it's the induction heater that's doing that. And that's the way the induction heater functions. But yeah, you can see that with this little unit, the Elite Blue Eddy Elite 30 V2, if you can prepare a quick meal for yourself. Don't know if you cook everything right from scratch. Like I said, at this power rating, you only got about 20-25 minutes operation with it, because like I said, it's only a 600 watt unit. I do have it in powerlifting mode. But yeah, you can definitely warm up like bottle mousse or warm up leftovers or something if you're into a situation where you have a power outage and need a quick meal. So folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the cooking video that Jeanette prepared. She did that all herself. I just put the video together, but she did all the recording herself, did all the cooking, and I did a lot of the eating. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out Blue Eddy. I'm sure they got lots of sales coming up. There's links in the description for Blue Eddy for this V30 unit. But check out their website, and that's in the description also for their latest sales and offers. And you can use their coupon code, their discount code in the description. I don't remember what the discount code is right now, but check it out, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, it smells delicious, I tell you. Jeanette's gonna make some gravy with this now. Always good. Let's just bump it up to 700 watts. So she still only draws 580, so it don't matter. That's the safety feature of the Blue Eddy unit. It still only draws 600 watts, but it can support high power appliances. Now she's really bubbling now. Alright, time to eat.